be like a really fun competitive journey, or like me getting myself in way over my head. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I have decided to enter a couple of aerial competitions this year, and I thought it would be fun to do a series of vlogs taking you guys with me through the whole process, from getting started and registering, which is what I'm working on right now, to creating my act and training it and doing my costume and eventually doing the actual competition. So you can kind of see the behind the scenes story from beginning to end if you are thinking about entering a competition yourself. And if you're gonna do one this year, like, follow along and we can do it together. It'll be fun. I've had a lot of people ask me about what it's like to compete, and I don't actually know because I've never done an aerial competition before. It's something that I've been wanting to do, but it's just not worked out conveniently with contracts and shows. Now I actually have time to commit to it. I thought that this could be a really great project, as well as just giving me something to do while shows aren't really happening. I have something to work on. I think that'll be really nice to have. I have found a couple of competitions that look really good. Mostly they're happening online because it's 2021 and like, who knows what will happen. So I think a lot of people have moved competitions online to guarantee they're going to be able to happen. I would really like to do a competition that is in person. I don't know if that's going to be possible, but I would really like to have that experience. We'll see what happens. I mean, that seems to be the theme of life right now. And at the very least, I know I can do the online competitions. It'll be interesting to kind of see how it all works and what the experience is like and how it compares to performing. Even though I do have, you know, years and years and years of performing experience, I think it'll be a fun, like, new experience to try something new and just see a different side of aerial, and maybe it'll like kind of kick my butt into shape with having to actually train skills that I'm bad at instead of avoid them. My first step is to find some competitions and get registered. I've found a couple already. I know that international pole sport is very well respected. I think that would be a really good one to do. I'm looking into that a little bit. And then also air power athletics, and they have some online competitions. The online competitions are going to be great because I can do them for just the entry fee. I don't have to worry about paying for a plane or a hotel or any of those kinds of things. So I can do maybe a few more of them than I would be able to do if I was doing all in-person competitions. So this is one of the competitions that I'm looking at. This is Air Power Athletics, and you can see all the green squares on the left are online competitions. Sorry, this is all in French. I'm registering as a French resident because I am a French resident. There are a few competitions coming up online that are quite soon. There's one here that is in about 6 weeks. I could kind of do one of those as a test, even though that's a very short amount of time. I would like to do a test before I move into competitions where I actually really try to do well, because I wouldn't want to do one competition later on and make some kind of big mistake in how I prepare or how I perform, and then like that's kind of it, and you know, it's done. I think it'll be a good idea to do a test and see how it goes so that I potentially will do at least one of these without like just complete novice failure. In August, they are having the European Championship, and I think that's the competition that I want to focus on. Like, that's one that I will hopefully have already done a test competition, and in this one I can enter and then try to really do my best with. They also have an in-person competition in Tallinn in September, and that would be pretty cool because I wanted to go to Tallinn for a while. It just looks like a really cool city, and if I go for a competition, it's tax deduction. It says the registration starts in July, so maybe I'll kind of see how things are going in July and keep that in mind as an option. I have registered my act. There's my act. Yay. But I can't find a way to submit my application or to pay the competition fee. I do have a contact, and so I've sent them a message saying, you know, what do I do next? And I'm waiting to be told what to do next to complete my registration. Hopefully that will come through soon and I can finish and be completely signed up for March 14th. These are the rules for the Air Power Athletics competition, and there's a lot of them. I read down through all of these rules, and it took me a while, and I had to bribe myself with chocolate to do it, but I did. There are a lot of little details that you can get deducted points for in your performance, but just also like you must have this ID and you must do this and you must submit your forms by this date, and just sort of office work, like organizational type things, which I totally understand them. As someone who has put together a show and has been the like person in charge of organizing things like this before, if you're a competitor or if you're a performer, have patience with the people in the office, because their life is a nightmare. Trying to organize a bunch of artists into having a show that works in any way is so difficult and requires so much work and organization. So if they ask you something like, for instance, you must send your music by this date with this type of file, just bear with them, because there's a reason they're asking you, and it's probably important to their system, even if you can't understand what the reason is. So bear with them and just do what they ask. God bless anyone who's working organization with artists. Thank you. This is part of the registration form, and this is where you have to show what apparatus you're doing. So I've marked off aerial hoop, and then you have to show what group you're in. And it did take me a long time to figure out what group I should be in. D is for debutante at this competition. So if it's your first competition, then you can be group D. So I technically could be group D, but I'm not going to be, because I want to just be in the group. I don't want to have them take it easy on me. Like, I want to have the real experience. So I'm just going to go straight into group B, which is adults who have been practicing aerial more than 1 year and who consider themselves advanced or professional level. So that's me, and that's what I've marked down on this one. There was also a lot of rules for, this isn't even all of them. There's a whole other section you have to read about costumes. I think because this competition includes pole, they want to be very careful that they don't have any costumes that are too super sexualized. Sometimes, especially with pole, you kind of get very naked without realizing it, because there's also kids divisions in this competition. I think they kind of want to keep it a little bit less exotic. I'll need to have a look through my costumes and think about what applies to all the rules, because I certainly don't have anything like overly sexy, but I will have to make sure that whatever I choose to wear applies to all these rules. And so that's going to definitely be like an afternoon of thinking through. The other company I'm looking at already is Pole Sports, or International Pole Sports Federation. This is the French chapter that I have pulled up the page for. For this one, you do have to become a member of the federation. Star Trek reference. I'm a giant Trekkie and I'm now a member of the federation. It costs 20 euros, which I went ahead and just paid and became a member. And I am looking for their competitions. Here's competitions 2021. Their first competition, the 10th and 11th of July in Marseille. Marseille is great for me because you can get to Marseille very cheaply from Paris. I have friends that live not too far from there, so potentially I could stay with my friends. I can't tell if there's going to be an aerial or a hoop division. They say pole sports, pole artistic, parapole, and ultra pole. I emailed them on their contact through the website, and I've asked if there will be an aerial division. In the meantime, I also looked at the Netherlands division, because Netherlands is pretty close to me and would be easy to get to, and they are having competitions with aerial that is confirmed. So I've sent them an email as well, just asking if you have to be a resident of the Netherlands or if they'll accept international competitors. We'll see what they say about that. There's also the international championships that is in Switzerland in October. Again, that's not too far from me, so it'd be easy to do logistics wise. I would rather do like one of these smaller competitions with them first and then potentially like also the championships, but If there is not an option for aerial with the French Federation, and then if the Netherlands chapter and other countries around me don't allow international athletes to compete, then I may have to just jump straight into the finals, which would be slightly stressful, but I would rather do that than miss out. I think it's a pretty good start. I feel like I've already learned a lot of things just through reading the rules. I'm gonna continue this week to try to look for some more competitions. If I have my act and it's prepared, it's ready, I have my costume, I might as well try to get into as many as I can, as long as it's affordable. Next will be starting to train and put my act together, especially with all these sort of choreographic restrictions of having to use the moves that score the most points and having to think about showing off the most impressive things that I do. That's going to be really interesting to choreograph because I normally don't choreograph that way. And then also thinking about costume and music. Choosing music is going to be a big step in this. Overall, I feel like progress has been made and I've taken the first steps to this competition journey, which is really exciting, and I can't wait to actually start. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Like I said, I am planning to do a whole series of these vlogs from beginning to end, the whole process, so make sure that you subscribe to my channel to catch all of those. Plus, I also have aerial tutorials and aerial choreography and all sorts of aerial videos. If you are interested in this video, you will definitely be interested in some of the other stuff that I have on my channel. So make sure you check it out and subscribe. And keep checking back in to see what is either gonna be a really fun competitive journey or me getting myself in way over my head.